is a signatory or members of the three following conventions listed on top: the Berne Convention, TRIPS Convention, Rome Convention. Yet the Paris Convention, Fiji is yet to sign. We'll be focusing on TRIPS Convention, which is trade-related aspects of intellectual property, because the Fiji Airways case is basically on the trademark of the 15 motives. So according to TRIPS Convention, the reason why TRIPS was negotiated in the first place was because of lack of effective procedures and lack of remedies. This was initially for the domestic enforcement of trademarks in some developing countries and in pre-existing international laws. Article 15, subsection 1 of the TRIPS Convention defines trademark as follows. The TRIPS Convention's purpose is to raise standards of protection of trademarks in developed and developing countries. However, in the first point, protection of trademark is universally recognized already in national laws. The purpose of TRIPS Convention is to just raise that standard of protection. Article 16, subsection 1, it provides for the protection of registered trademarks, especially from unauthorized third-party users of the trademark. International law practices. So indigenous leaders and advocacy groups now speaking out and acting globally in ways that rationalize and maintain self-determination and recovery of indigenous cultural patrimony. An example of patrimony is art form. New Zealand, Australia, and Panama, they have implemented legislations to protect indigenous heritage or art as well. And UNESCO and the Working Group on Indigenous Populations, the two arms of the United Nations, are developing far-reaching heritage protection standards as well. For international law cases, the two cases listed above were very influential in the laws in Australia. They were basically about artists and their heritage and how commercial entities tried to use their art for commercial purposes. A good example of what Fiji Airways is going through currently is like the Southwest Airlines. They went through the same thing. That's a Z Pueblo sun symbol, and that symbol is owned by the Z Pueblo tribe in South India. And what the company did, the Southwest Airlines did, was they had amicable negotiations with the tribe to use their symbol on their airlines. And in return, they would provide financial means for the kids, for the generations, in forms of scholarships and such. So in conclusion, we firmly believe that intellectual property law Fiji, specifically the Trademark Act, should be reviewed. The grant of the 15 motives should not be, ownership should not be given to Fiji Airways. Fiji's intellectual law property must follow the general classification of international law. This is because Fiji is still following the British classification system. And just like Southwest Airlines, amicable or friendly negotiations made between commercial entities and cultural groups with regards to cultural use of their designs. We do support Fiji Airways for using the masses. However, we'd rather them not trademark it for commercial use. Thank you.